Welcome back to SNR Sports. My name's Sean, and this is my colleague.
What's going on, guys? It's Ario.
So today we are going to be talking about the AFC and NFC championship games, which featured the Bengals and the Chiefs in the AFC, and the 49ers and the Rams in the NFC. But before we get to that, because of Tom Brady's retirement, we'd like to take a moment of silence for all the careers that Tom Brady has ended.
Cue the sad music. Anyway, on to the Chiefs and Bengals game. What a game, Sean. What a game. What are your thoughts on it right off the top of that?
Well, in the first half, you see Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman all catching touchdowns. The whole team's on fire. Bengals defense is asleep. Can't get a stop. Bengals offense looks like it's asleep. They only got 3 points up on the board. They go down 21-3. That's an 18-point deficit. Not looking good for Cincinnati.
Not good, yeah.
So going into halftime, the Bengals did manage to get a touchdown on the board, so it was 21-10. They're down 11. What were your thoughts?
You know, I don't think anyone thought the Bengals were going to win, right? They don't even get the ball in the second half to start off with. They're away. The Chiefs are home. The Chiefs are unstoppable right now. There was no doubt in anyone's mind for the most part that game was going to go to the Chiefs and nobody else but the Chiefs. But the Bengals were able to rally back, and it was just a great second half. But Sean, talk us through that second half.
So going into the second half, Bengals defense all of a sudden wakes up. Mahomes has probably one of the worst halves of his entire career, regular season included, and only allowed 3 more points. And the Bengals turn out they rally back with a touchdown from Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow is going off, making play after play. Jamar Chase is just so exciting to watch out there. That Bengals defense is just tough, taking on the challenge of all the threats of the Chiefs offense. Yeah. And the Bengals are able to force an overtime.
Yeah, wow.
So, you saw the coin flip.
Yeah.
How did you think when that happened?
I mean, what luck does the Chiefs have? The only reason they beat the Bills is because they won the coin toss. And then they win the coin toss again. Everyone is thinking, wow, what a game, what another week. But there's no way this Bengal defense can stop Patrick Mahomes in overtime. I mean, the only way to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, usually, is to beat him with no time left on the clock, like, at all. You have to score when the clock hits 0. And, so what happened was, Chiefs drive down the field, they get stopped. Our boy Von Bell clutches up.
Bell, as we predicted last week, had the interception in overtime. You are underestimating Von Bell on the defensive end of the Bengals. He will just destroy everybody, and nobody will beat him. Cooper Kupp is scared right now because he knows that if he beats this 49ers team, he's going to have to play against Von Bell, and it's probably going to be death for him. And then off of the momentum from the Von Bell interception, Joe Burrow takes the Bengals down, gets a game-winning field goal from Evan McPherson, who I'd like to say has not missed a field goal this entire postseason.
That is pretty impressive, Sean. That's pretty impressive. And Bengals won off a field goal again for the second week in a row, and they're on to the Super Bowl. But one thing we want to bring up to you guys is the overtime rules. I don't know if I think it's fair to just if you score, you win the game. I think both teams should have an opportunity to get the ball offensively and have an opportunity to play defense. What are your thoughts, Sean?
Well, you mentioned that it's not really that fair, but you know what else isn't fair? Is when you have to play against the Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, LSU, Cincinnati Bengals duo, and you have to go against them in the postseason trying to win a football game? That's not fair at all, but that's how the game goes.
You know what else isn't fair? Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford on the Rams. But let's go hop into that game. 49ers and Rams game, another great game. Came down in the fourth quarter. What a great game just in general. Like, you had everything. You had the defense, you had the offense, you had the turnovers. Great game to watch. And, basically, it was a tight game. You go into the fourth quarter. I think the 49ers had a 10-point lead. They start to blow that lead. And, in my personal opinion, anybody else playing quarterback for the 49ers, they would be in the Super Bowl right now.
I hear what you're saying about the 49ers needing a different quarterback, but I have to disagree with you. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo, as the quarterback for the 49ers, does an all right job, because when you want to replace a quarterback, you have to think, how is the replacement going to be better than him? I personally don't think that Trey Lance is going to be better for the 49ers than Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that Jimmy Garoppolo plays well with Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle, and when Deebo Samuel isn't running the ball, I think that he does a great job with Deebo Samuel as well. And I think that, you look at who the free agent QBs are this summer, who could go to San Francisco, and you try to figure out what trades could be made. But I have to disagree with you about Jimmy Garoppolo.
In my opinion, that's a hot school. Let's hop back to the game, and then we'll hop back to this. What happened was the Rams came back in the fourth quarter. 49ers got the ball back. They were down by 3 points now, or 4 points. And Jimmy G basically threw an interception. The Rams head to the Super Bowl. Now, let's jump back to the Jimmy G argument. I think that's a great hot take. Listen, they traded up in last year's draft to draft Trey Lance, number 3 overall. There's no way they are going out to sign a quarterback. The reason they're shipping Jimmy G off to wherever he ends up, and I hope him the best, is because they got Trey Lance on the bench. He's a generational talent. He's a great athlete. And honestly, if he would have played this last year in college football, which got canceled because of COVID, I could have seen him going number 1 overall, or at least above Zach Wilson. So I think that's a hot take. But let's talk about Jimmy G. Some landing spots for Jimmy G. I could see him fitting great into Tampa Bay. How are you?
I think Tampa Bay could be pretty good for him. It's a good place for any quarterback in the NFL right now. Tom Brady just leaving that as an open spot. I'm a big fan of Jameis Winston. He wasn't the best there, but I think a lot of other quarterbacks can really thrive there with great receivers, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. No longer Antonio Brown, and probably no longer Gronkowski.
Yeah.
But anyway, Jimmy Garoppolo could have fun there, right by the beach. Anyway, no more about the losers. Let's talk about the winners. Matt Stafford and the LA Rams going to the Super Bowl. This is Matt Stafford's first year in LA. Does this prove that the Detroit Lions are a poverty franchise?
Yes, it proves it, but can you prove something we already knew? I guess, but we already knew that. One thing I'll say about Matt Stafford, I love him. Felt bad that he was in Detroit for all those years. I'm happy he's finally getting his time to shine, son. But that Rams team is stacked. They have so many big names. They have Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Matt Stafford, Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp. So many big names on that team. If they didn't make the Super Bowl, this season could have been a bust. They also have Sean McVay, who's the best young coach in the league right now. I'm not shaming them for being good, but this is where they're supposed to be. Their time to win is now, and you got to give them credit. They're in the Super Bowl.
I have to agree with you. They have so many great players. On the defensive end, both Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, great players. I'd like to see how they can do against the great offense of the Cincinnati Bengals. But then on offense, they have Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford, and Odell Beckham Jr. I'm not a big Odell Beckham Jr. fan. I know you Giants fans love him. But I think that he's really stepping up. And if he can win himself a Super Bowl by making great plays in the Super Bowl, I might become more of a fan of him.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up the video. So make sure to tune in next week for our Super Bowl predictions and our award predictions on the NFL awards. Really looking forward to that. Let us know who you guys think Let us know what you guys think Jimmy G will end up in the offseason in the comments below.
Make sure to watch Bengals or Rams. Who you got? See ya.